The Alliance ships are coming back to Star Trek Online finally! I know, you're probably thinking, oh, they're just gonna throw them into Mud's Market, and you're right, but it's also worse than that. Now, we all kind of knew that the Alliance ships were going to end up in Mud's Market eventually, because that's just kind of where event ships end up these days. I don't like it, I'm sure a lot of you don't either, but that's just how it is these days. But unlike previous event ships, which are often sold individually in Mud's Market, instead of selling the Alliance ships individually in Mud's, they are bundling them together into a Mud's bundle. Now, for the most part, it is your typical Mud's bundle. You'll have the choice of the 3-pack, so you'll be able to pick any 3 of these options, or just buy the whole bundle altogether. The 3-pack will be $150, and the full choice pack will be $300. And that's just for when they're on sale for 50% off. Those prices will double after the 23rd of March. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not surprised that they are releasing the Alliance ships into Mud's Market, because, again, that's just where event ships end up these days. As much as I hate it, that's just how it is. But I am surprised and very disappointed that they are releasing these like this, in a bundle. Mud's bundles are very expensive. Even at 50% off, this is still going to be a $150 purchase, and that's just for 3 of these options. And this is for event ships. This is the first time a Mud's bundle has consisted of 3 event ships. These ships were free at one point, and now they are selling them for $150. And this is the thing that always baffles me about putting the event ships into Mud's Market, is because they're always held back stats-wise. Event ships are never given a full specialization. All of these do not have full specializations. You know, the Khitomer has a Lieutenant Commander command seat, so does the Khitomer, and the Jirok has, I believe, a temporal seat, but none of them are full spec, so stats-wise, a lot of them get outmatched even by C-Store ships. So why spend $150 on these ships when you can get better ships from the C-Store at $30 a pop? That's not including a sale. Now, I know I did talk down a bit on the stats of these ships because they are event ships, they're not full spec, but they aren't bad ships either. Like I said, the Khitomer makes a really good torpedo build, but at the same time, it's going to be outmatched by anything that's a full command ship. And the Khitomer, the funny thing about the Khitomer is that, it does make a good torpedo build because it has that Lieutenant Commander command seat, but its stats are nearly identical to the Eagle Pilot Raider. The bridge officer seating is the same, except that the Eagle also has a pilot seat because it's a full pilot ship, and it also has pilot maneuvers because, again, full pilot ship. And actually, the Eagle is actually a little faster and has a slightly better turn rate. So if the Khitomer does appeal to you strictly because of its stats, just go buy the Eagle instead. You're going to have more fun in that because it'll do everything that this ship can do, but it can also do barrel rolls. The Khitomer does also have a good console for anti-proton builds, which, if you like anti-proton, it is going to be a shame to miss out on that, but it's not something I would call essential either. It's also got a neat torpedo build trait, but again, it's nothing I'd call essential. In fact, it would be more detrimental if you're using the Starship trait from the Legendary Dederadex, because it requires you to be a certain distance away from your target to get a damage buff, and if you're using rapid emitting armaments from the Legendary Dederadex, you actually need to be closer to your target because you need to be in range to activate your tractor beam. The Khitomer's trait and console are a bit more tank focused. They're not bad, but they're more shield tank focused, which is why I'm kind of like, meh. Okay, I was wrong about the Jirok earlier. It has a temporal and command seat, but that command seat is ensign level, so it may as well just have the temporal seat, because you're never going to use that ensign command seat. But yeah, the Jirok is the one I would be the most upset about missing out on, because it's got some pretty good stuff on it. The Starship trait is, who cares about the Starship trait? It's a shield trait again, but the console is really nice because it has a really nice buff to crit chance, and it's also really great for pet builds because it will further buff them as well. And not just hangar pets either. I'm talking saucer separation, the Aquarius console, multi-vector assault mode, even the Sentry mode console off the Bowel Sentry ship. That is a really nice console to have. I've used it on a number of build videos on the channel in the past. The fighter pets on this thing are also really nice to have because they don't have a torpedo, so they're not going to interfere with anyone's torpedo builds. They have both cannons and beams, so they're going to be doubly affected by superior area denial, and they have focused assault. So they're going to be able to buff your damage as well as everyone else's on the team. The Todouche fighters still technically do better under superior area denial, but that's largely because the Todouche fighters are weird and defy explanation, and I'm pretty sure the interaction between those two is weirdly bugged somehow, because it makes no sense to me whatsoever. But yeah, if you don't want to use the Todouge fighters, the Alliance fighters are a great substitute because they're still really good fighters, but they're only available on the Jarok. Are they good? Yes. Are they $150 worth of good? No. Honestly, I don't think any of these ships are worth 150 bucks. And that's the real downside to putting these ships into a bundle like this, because there are plenty of people who have maybe one or two of the Alliance ships but missed out on one of the events, so they don't have the full set. So now if they want the full set, they gotta spend 150 bucks on this Muds Alliance Choice Pack. I'm sure Cryptic would say, oh, well, if you already have one or two of the ships, you can get some of the other stuff in the Choice Bundle, and honestly, my response to that would be, who the heck cares about the extra stuff? No one buys this stuff for the extra stuff. I mean, the experimental upgrade, those things are easy to get because they are thrown into the Phoenix Prize store from time to time. They're also just given away for free for events. These are very easy to earn without spending money. I've got like a dozen sitting in my bank right now in game. There's no need to spend money on these. The ship coupons are kind of nice, but again, you can buy C-Store ships whenever you want, and really, it's just smarter to wait till an actual ship sale than to get these. Ultimate tech upgrades are kind of a convenience, especially if you frequently are acquiring new gear that needs to be upgraded, but at the same time, Phoenix upgrades are still a thing, and they're free. Because, you know, you buy them with dilithium. And as for the master keys, again, the math has been done. It's actually smarter to just wait for a key sale and buy keys then, because you're basically just spending 50 bucks on 50 bucks worth of keys. Except you also have to spend 50 bucks on two other things just to get those 50 bucks worth of keys. Just buy master keys during a master key sale. These ships should be sold individually in Muds Market, because putting them into a bundle like this is just a huge slap in the face to a lot of fans of the game. A lot of people already have one or two of the ships, so asking them to pay $150 to complete the set, that's just unbelievably ridiculous. It puts the Alliance ships into a price range that I think the average player is either going to be unwilling to, or more than likely unable to, you know, invest that much into the game, just for these three ships. And I remind you that all three of these ships are event ships. None of them have full specializations, so compared to other ships, their stats are unremarkable. And at one point, they were available for free. I mean, for free ships, they're great ships, but for $150, that is a joke. A really bad joke. Like, it's always bugged me that they put event ships into Muds Market nowadays, just because they're so expensive. Even individually, that's still like 40 bucks, I think. But this is just beyond ridiculous. Like, I know, like, the old Phoenix Store option wasn't that great either, because it was still very difficult to obtain those past event ships through the Phoenix Store. And even if you do get it through the Phoenix Store, it's still a single character unlock on that with that one token. So, yeah, also not great, because I'm so sick of single character unlocks. I think it is my biggest frustration with this game. But honestly, I think it's really stupid that they kind of make it one or the other these days. You know, ships either go into the Phoenix Store, and even then it's very rare these days, or they go into Muds Market, which is usually the case these days. I always thought, why not just put them in both? Because the Phoenix Store is a good deal sink. You can get people spending dilithium to try to earn these old event ships that they might want for maybe one character, but if they want the full account unlock and they missed out on the event, then you got Muds Market as your option. I don't understand why it has to be one or the other, because there's an argument for both, so why not just have both? Like, it feels like Cryptic thinks like, oh, if we put more things in Muds, that's going to influence more people to spend more money in Muds Market because the prices are higher over there, so that means more money for us. But, like, people aren't spending money in Muds Market because, oh, there's just nothing in there that they want. They're not spending in Muds Market because Muds Market is ungodly expensive, and the average player just cannot afford it. Even those who can probably afford it probably don't do it just because they think Muds Market is a ripoff. Because it kinda is. This certainly is. So yeah, that is the Muds Market Alliance bundle. I'm not even gonna ask you like what you guys think about it, because frankly, I imagine a lot of you are just on the same page as I am on this, because this is so stupid. Like, this is so stupid to ask players to spend that much money on 3 event ships. Ridiculous. So instead of that, I don't know. How was your weekend? I thought it was better than mine. I didn't have power for 4.5 days. It was cold. Actually, no. There is one thing I do want to ask you, because I am curious, how many of you have actually bought something out of Muds Market? because I gripe that Mud's Market is something that most people can't afford, but I'm generally curious that how many of you agree with me on there, or how many of you have actually spent money in Mud's Market to get something out of there. If you have bought something in Muds, I would be curious to know what it is you bought in Muds, if you're willing to share that information. If not, that's fine. Though I would be really curious, how much was it marked off? Like, how good was the sale when you bought it? Like, for me, the only time I have ever bought anything in Mud's Market was the Stealing Time bundle, and it was that one time during that one holiday sale where it was 75% off. That's the only time I've ever bought anything in Mud's Market. And honestly, I would buy more Mud's Market ship bundles if they were 75% off again, but that hasn't happened. We only got that 75% off sale once. Ever since then, they've never gone lower than 50%, which is lame, because that is still $150, which, again, even for like lockbox and promo ships, that is still very expensive. Like I said, let me know down in the comments down below, and while you're down there, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, hit that join button to become a member, or hit the super thanks button, or find the link to the merch store in the video's description. Either way, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.